up, guys? Today I thought it would be nice to see what it's like for my morning routine after all the kids have gone to school except one. I am a mom of four and I have three kids in school at all different grades in schools. So I wanted to do a realistic, like, get ready with me after the kids, because not all of us can wake up super early in the morning, and some of us are all just trying to figure out like a good morning routine. So I wanted to show you what mine is at this moment as I'm figuring out a new routine that works for me, that doesn't stress me out. And one of the first things that I like to do after dropping the kids off to school is, number one, make myself something to eat, especially if I haven't had my shake in the morning. So today I'm just having some oatmeal, and I love to put some honey in it just for a little bit of sweetener, not too much, just like a teaspoon or so, just to give it a little bit of flavor. And I like to make my oatmeal from scratch. I do not like to do the instant stuff because they put so much other products in it. And so getting some regular quick oats and adding a little honey makes everything a lot better for me in my system. And then I'm going to get some nice fresh berries and cut those up. And one of my favorite things about using berries is because of the fact, like, you get a lot of antioxidants. And so these are like the best things that you can really put into your body for energy and help your system. And so fresh berries, and plus, I mean, who doesn't love strawberries? Like, they're my favorite, especially if they're dipped in chocolate, but that's not going to be good for my oatmeal. So I'm just going to use some leftover diced strawberries from my kids and cut myself up a little bit more so that way I can have a full portion with my serving of oatmeal and get in my carbs and my fruits for my day. Alright guys, so once I get my oatmeal finished, I grab my home and family planner and try to at least just give myself 1 to 3 things that I want to make sure that I achieve at home throughout the day. Now, I do have multiple planners that I use, but I found that in this season of my life, I'm really only using one planner at a time. So I'm trying to get better at figuring out what planning system is really consistently working for me, because as you guys know, mom life is constantly busy and constantly changing. And although I love using a paper planner, sometimes I just don't have the time to sit down. But this is one of the things I'm trying to reincorporate back into my day to just kind of help me slow down and get my mind right before getting into the busy. Now, of course, and with a bunch of busy comes the mess, inevitably. As much as I try to find ways to leave the house with it being clean, so when I come back, it doesn't look like a tornado hit it, it just really has not been happening with our family. So instead of fighting with the mess and getting super frustrated, you got to learn how to flow with it. And so that's something that I'm learning to do, is once I get home, tidy up the house and not be frustrated or guilty about it. It is what it is with the family as busy and big as ours. And I may not want to necessarily be the one cleaning everything up. It is just what it is. I can't expect everybody to always be cleaning up after themselves 24/7. And so sometimes these are one of those things in mom life where you kind of accept, and for your own sanity, you take full responsibility. And so cleaning the table and getting all the dishes cleaned off and put away is one of my things that I have to absolutely make sure it gets done, because I absolutely do not like to operate in dysfunction whatsoever. And so when the kitchen is a hot mess, that's like the most annoying thing. So that's one of the things that I do my best to make sure I tackle first. So this way, when I remember that I'm hungry later on in the day, I can easily just go into the kitchen, grab something to eat, and not have to deal with a full sink of dirty dishes and not even have room to be able to make anything or wash my dish that I'm currently using or anything like that. So this is one of those things where once all the kids are at school, I hit a mid-morning reset. And this has actually been something that I enjoy, a part of my morning routine. And now in If you have not ever used a cast iron skillet, I'm going to show you how I clean mine. Now, there's a whole situation on how you're not supposed to wash it and all the things, but I'm like old school and new school put together. So I wash it, but I still make sure I oil it. So if you're like, why are you putting a cast iron skillet and using Dawn? This is just what I do. I like to make sure I thoroughly wash it because we literally do cook almost every single meal with this skillet. It serves our family very well and is always dirty. No matter how many times I wash it, somebody comes up behind me and starts to use it to make it for eggs or dinner or lunch or what have you. Somebody's cooking something on it. And so in order to make the process of cleaning this cast iron skillet easier, I wash it like normal, because the original process you're supposed to use salt and cure it and all the things, and I don't got time for all how many times we use it. That's doing a lot. So I wash this skillet like normal, like I would any other dish, and then I take it over to our stove. This way I could go ahead and burn out all of the water from the skillet, and as that's doing that, I go ahead and pick everything up and get to cleaning and wiping down all of the counters. Now, this is a very easy thing. I could have just dried it. I'm sure some of you guys are asking me, like, why didn't you just dry it out with a towel or something? But this is a step that you want to make sure that you do with your cast iron skillet, because this way it makes sure all of the water is gone from it. And then I'm going to show you how I grease it later. So this way you want to make sure that your skillet is greased. But in the meantime, I just want to make sure that I get all of the counter space cleaned off while the skillet is doing its thing. All right, now that the skillet is all burned out and dry, I'm going to use a little bit of avocado oil, and there's no particular reason I'm using this oil. It's just because it's what I had. I'm out of olive oil and regular oil, but you could use whatever oil that you have to go ahead and grease your cast iron skillet. And this is very important step because it is cast iron. You want it to last, and you also don't want it to rust. And that's another reason why you burn the water out instead of just wipe it, because you can wipe the water out, but it still might leave a little bit water in the skillet to where it'll rust down the road. And to prevent that, it's just better that you burn it out. And so from the leftover oil that we had from when my husband fried some chicken, or I forgot what he fried, but he fried something. And so I wanted to go ahead and strain that out too, instead of just leave a bunch of grease on our kitchen counter. This is a fairly simple process. You just put some paper towels in a spaghetti strainer and a bowl, and then you pour that in. That way all of the crumbs and all the things that's at the bottom of your pan do not fall into the oil. And then once this process is done and everything's dripped out, you'll have oil to be able to use for another dish, which is nice because you don't always have to use brand new oil. Sometimes you can reuse it. Probably I would only reuse oil maybe 2 times, but this is a great way to help you save on that too. Now with this cast iron skillet, this is something that actually went to our grill, but we used it to fry in the other day. You can double use. That's one thing I love about cast iron. It's like multi-purpose. You don't have to just use it on the stove or anything like that. But I'm going to clean this the same exact way I did the actual skillet, but this one is good for like roasting vegetables, or if you're going to stew something on a big like propane tank or anything like that outside. This is actually what came with it, but I'm just basically going to use the same process as I used to clean the cast iron skillet to clean this. Keep it nice and simple. There's no need to do anything extra, but it's still important to make sure all that grease comes out. All right, so now that all the dishes in the kitchen is clean, I'm going to throw on a nice holiday ambiance. And I love doing this. This is one of my favorite things to do early in the mornings when the kids are getting ready for school, and then also when everybody is gone, because I like to focus on getting things done while everybody's away, because it's really my only time where I could be focused and productive. But I like to do it with a nice holiday ambiance in the background and some music. So let's get to it.
I wanna take you back in time. All of our neighbors' twinkling lights, all of our youthful eyes so bright. We'd never seen the sky so wide. And I just want that winter feeling. Very merry, happy holiday. Close your eyes, I wish it never goes away. All of our loved ones, and no one without one. Very merry, happy holiday to you. Do-do-do, da-da-da-da. And sentiment heaven fills the air. I want the biggest cup to share. Somebody's playing Nat King Cole. Make the season brighter now. And Mama is hanging mistletoe. La, 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 la. And we just want that winter feeling. Very merry, happy holiday. So happy, so very. Close your eyes, I wish it never goes away. All of our loved ones, and no one without one. Very merry, happy holiday to you. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Love your loves, 'cause it's the season. We all want that winter feeling. Very merry, happy holiday. Very merry, happy holiday.
All right, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Now it's time for me to take my tea and get started on the rest of the day. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Bye.